Three, two, one, boom, it's detonation time. I'm TNT, and this is Pro Wrestling with TNT. It is the 22nd of September, and we're here going to give you a bunch of news today from the last week and a half. So thanks for joining again. A lot of questions from the last episode, so thanks for everybody for reaching out. I had a couple of people buy the TNT Saaa t-shirts, so very, very grateful for those good people that made a t-shirt order. That really helps me out, and checking out some of our affiliates down the bottom, so very, very much appreciate all that kind of stuff. Lots going on. AWF busy week coming up. Looks like the 5th of November show, which is going to be the AWF Legacy 22nd year anniversary show, is going to go ahead. So things opening up in New South Wales, which is great. The vaccination rate is going up, so as long as that remains on track, it looks like we're going to be back in business. AWF and our wrestlers have been had the rug pulled out from underneath us a few times, so we're very excited to be getting back in there. It's going to be a great night, so tickets on sale for that one, awfwrestling.com.au website. They're selling now. Thanks for the people that ordered some tickets this week. We really appreciate you all. And yeah, please spread the word, and let's get that show sold out. It's only going to be limited seating down there, so and there'll be COVID rules. You will likely need to be double vaxxed. The council has informed us, so yeah, please come and be part of a great celebration of wrestling, and join AWF for AWF Legacy on Friday the 5th of November at Blacktown Bowman Hall. Okay, so that being said, looks like there might be some more wrestling live events coming up with a lucha banner. So I've been in talks with a restaurant that's going to open, but it's like an entertainment venue as well, so we're just nutting things out now, but it's quite possible all could be ready and launched in a month or two, so there'll be an announcement about that in the coming weeks. So lucha style wrestling, it's a Mexican themed entertainment complex, so can't say too much at the moment, but things are in the works there, so looking forward to that being announced and coming out as well. There's plans for a show in Sydney to start with every 6 weeks, so that one's on the menu, so to speak, and we'll have some more details about that one coming up soon. So lots going on. I want to talk about heels. Got a chance to check out episode 4. That was quite an interesting one. They it was first one where they didn't have in the ring wrestling action. It was a lot of storyline. While Bill Hancock, stories about him and his wrestling sort of past. They had a scene of him with a championship belt nude on a plane early in the episode, very reminiscent of the plane run of hell, which we'll get to a little bit later on, and Ric Flair and the like. So that was interesting. There was a lot of storyline with Crystal and Bobby Pin, and also the struggles of a family, dealing with pro wrestling from the partner. I've had this in my own life quite a few times as well. It's if the woman in your life isn't 100% on board, it can be a little bit difficult at times, because it's all wrestling, and they love you, but they probably didn't sign up for 24/7 wrestling. So there's a little bit of that with Jack. There's also the story with Ace, sort of just having his growing pains with life and the wrestling, family life as well. Some serious stuff with the suicide of their father, and the mother or the grandmother of Ace and Jack dealing with it. So some storyline stuff. coming up to some more episodes. I will hope to get the chance to check out the next. I think the next 2 have dropped over the last couple of days. The one that I was just referring to was called Cutting Promos, so that would have been episode 4. I think they're up to about episode 6 now on Stan. So yeah, and stars in the United States. So yeah, be sure to check it out. We've got an affiliate sponsor, Heels Merch. They got some great fun T-shirts, Duffy Wrestling League. Also the from the last episode that we spoke about, they've got the Ricky Rabies shirt, which is CM Punk on the show. Yeah, there's some other cool sort of hats and jumpers from the DWL. So yeah, check out Heels Merch. There's an Instagram page, also Redbubble. We'll have the link below. Purchase a shirt if you can. You'll be standing out at any wrestling show. People will be wanting to talk to you, and yeah, it'll really support things. So that'd be pretty cool too. Yeah, while we're talking about merch, get on the AWF web shop. There's a link on the AWF website. You go to awfwrestling.com.au/shop. You'll see a bunch of t-shirts. There's that TNT Saaa t-shirt that I was just talking about earlier. The Detonation crew. There's a lot of AWF logo shirts, similar to the logos that you can see behind. There are Darkness and Eternity, Outer Realm, and some new ones coming up soon. So yeah, please support AWF while no show's going on. There's been no real income coming in, so they've been helpful. Also, the AWF Pivot Share has been cranking out some titles. Pivot Share unfortunately has had some technical problems, not on our end, but so that we're wanting to upload a lot more stuff, but we're just waiting on them to get back to us. But thank you to everybody that's purchased. Want to send a shout out to Lazar and Lazar's Pro Wrestling World. He's been a great supporter of the AWF. I know he's purchased a few of the titles and shared it, so thanks for that, mate. You're a legend up in Queensland there. So yeah, some good stuff going on there. Heels, an interesting show. We'll keep watching that. Tell me what you think of it. I'd love to hear in the comments if you're enjoying the show, what you like about it. You know, there, like I said in one or two of the past Pro Wrestling with TNTs, there's a couple of things that are a little bit cringe, a little bit hard, but it's kind of becoming a bit of a dirty pleasure for me. It's kind of like some of it kind of parallels my life a lot, and some of it's you know, just fun. So yeah, I'm sticking with it for a little bit. We've also got Darkside of the Ring to talk about now. That was the return of season 3. So the comeback episode here, episode 8 in season 3. The infamous plane ride from hell. Jim Ross was kind of quoted as saying that if he never had to talk about it again, paraphrasing, you know, it wouldn't be soon enough. He yeah, it was, you know, he had some difficulties on the plane. He was the head of talent at the time, so to bring people up to speed, it was a UK tour for the Insurrection pay-per-view, and you know, there was a apparent weather hold for around 7 hours, and the guys got a drinking and got a little bit crazy on the plane, and then yeah, there were apparently pills, there were apparently syringes, there were apparently you know, and you know, I think the main instigator was a lot of drinking. You know, people like Goldust, Scott Hall, Ric Flair, they're all implicated in the episode. RVD was you know, made some comments on the show. So yeah, it was, you know, well documented. The plane ride held. JBL was on there apparently. It knocked Michael Hayes out at one stage. X-Pac apparently cut off a ponytail of Michael Hayes. It was later furious. So there was all kinds of shenanigans. There was a wrestling scrimmage with Kurt Hennig and Brock Lesnar. Hennig ended up getting fired after it all. I think Scott Hall didn't last much longer after this. So it was a big thing at the time, but reliving this on a TV show also has had its ramifications. Seems like Ric Flair is in a whole bunch of trouble. The hostess, Heidi Doyle, she had some you know, things to say on there which were very uncomfortable. Flair apparently was in his robe, naked, disrobed, and then cornered her in the back of the plane somewhat, it's alleged, and he'd exposed herself and was himself and was supposedly trying to get her to touch him and these kind of things. So that's all been you know, in the press, and Flair now is seemingly perhaps almost going to be cancelled a little bit, as they call it these days. So that's yeah, difficult for everybody. Not a good look for pro wrestling. You know, sure, it was 20 years ago in the timeline as far as this thing, but you know, it's for normal people. This is, you know, for anyone, it's not acceptable conduct. So yeah, and Tommy Dreamer made some comments, you know, which sounded a lot like he was trying to protect his friend, or was just talking for his friend. And you know, the main inference from what I could see was, you know, he didn't think, you know, and I'm sure it's very likely the case that Flair had any you know, intentions of forcing himself on anybody. But yeah, when you're I guess exposing yourself, that's yeah, not in people's you know, best interest a lot of the time. So yeah, things were very out of control in that fight. Unfortunately for Tommy Dreamer, his words and actions have got him into strife with Impact Wrestling, and he's unable to work there for the immediate future. So yeah, big blowout for that episode of Darkside of the Ring. Tell us what you thought of the episode. Tell us what you think of all of that. Yeah, it's probably going to be pretty hard to get a lot of people to talk for future Darkside of the Ring sort of seasons, I would imagine now. But yeah, some very interesting turnabouts there. Moving on, we've got yeah, NXT Mark II. So I got a chance to watch the new edition of NXT. Nice sort of colourful logo there, reminiscent of Nickelodeon. So it you know, was sometimes a fresh coat of paint goes a long way. So it will be interesting to see what goes down in the coming months in NXT. They've tried to you know, give it a bit of a different look from the black and gold, which I guess like is the black and gold is also used by All Elite Wrestling. So they probably wanted to differentiate it in a big way, especially since they were kind of competing with them on the same night, and then they've changed. So big change of direction in NXT 2.0. The setup looks great. You know, it's obviously the production's top notch. So yeah, you know, they debuted some new characters. Braun Breaker, who was the son of Rick Steiner, sort of had similar gear, was kind of really jacked and looked good. LA Knight, who looked fantastic, wrestled him in the opener. It was kind of a little bit strange because he was going to be wrestling in the main event later as well, and he did. But I guess they just wanted to establish Braun as a player, and yeah, he went over in the opening match and sort of did like that kind of Goldberg sort of press slam into the power slam maneuver, and got the shock win. So That was interesting. Imperium were on there as well. They looked fantastic. They had Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen as a team. That was yeah, it was an okay match. Imperium looked really good. They're the goods. They had the Hit Row group out there with BFAB debut promo. So some more new talent for the women's division out there. We've even got Duke Hudson, one of our Aussie wrestlers. He made a little appearance and unfortunately got beaten up, but that'll be to lead to some more matches soon, which is great. Yeah, there was a really good women's match. Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter versus Iggy Dolan and JC Jane. So that was yeah, moved along. That was a good match. The main theme was the wedding with Indy Hartwell. So they had and Dexter Lumis. So they had little sections of that during the show, which was fun, building to the big wedding at the end, and yeah, they tied the knot, and yeah, we'll see where that storyline goes. Great to see Indy Hartwell featured as a talent, you know, resident of Melbourne, Australia, back in the day. Now obviously living in Florida in the States. So yeah, great stuff there for her to be getting a big push and a lot of spotlight. So that's tremendous for her and Australian wrestling, and you know, and future Australian wrestlers to be able to get excited. We also saw Grayson Waller at ringside with Drake Maverick. He took on the big European Rich Holland, and that was an enhancement match. And yeah, Holland is huge and looks like he's going to get a big push. And then it was yeah, they also had the title bout, so it was a 4-way, a lot of action, good match. It was Pete Dunne, LA Knight, Von Wagner, and Tommaso Ciampa. Ciampa walked away with the championship. Everyone looked good in the match. Lots going on. You know, things look good when Dunne and Ciampa were in there. They got good chemistry, and yeah, with Samoa Joe vacating the championship, Tommaso Ciampa will be the champion moving forward. This next episode, they set up for Roderick Strong versus Kushida, so that would have just happened the last day or two. So and I believe Strong, I caught a whisper, had won the championship. So yeah, it's NXT 2.0 moving along. I'm sure they're going to be trying some new things. There was some word on the internet yesterday that Vince was looking to you know, spice it up and really make it a cutting edge style show. Whether that's true or internet talk, well, time will tell. Yeah, so NXT 2.0 was a thing. Yeah, but, since last time I didn't get to see it, but Big E became the WWE World Champion, defeating Bobby Lashley. It was a bit of a big thing. So yeah, he cashed in his money in the bank, and yeah, he's the champ. So good luck to him. Just moving on quickly to AEW. AEW set up with Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson as he's reverted back to now, to take on Kenny Omega at the big Grand Slam event. So that'll be this weekend. That's going to be exciting. Arthur Ashe Stadium, so it's an outdoor sort of football stadium. It's going to be a big deal. So that's going to, you know, got potential to be a great match. I'm looking forward to hopefully being able to watch that one. Also on the card, it's going to be Britt Baker versus Ruby Soho for the women's championship, and Cody Rhodes and Malachi Black, plus I believe it's Darby Allin and Sting versus FTR, and a few other, maybe MJF versus Brian Pillman Jr. and some other matches. So that's going to be a highly exciting card, I would imagine. So yeah, but anyone that's got anything to say about that or any of this other stuff that we spoke about today, just let us know. Put some comments down there. Any questions just about wrestling in general, or upcoming wrestling, or how to get into wrestling and the like, please leave them in the comments. Elsewise, thanks for joining us again. I will come back in about a week or so again with some more stuff. I'll probably be starting not to focus so much on the international wrestling as much, unless it's really big stuff that people want to talk about. I want to focus more on the Australian wrestling once we start having a lot more shows. I got a chance to touch base with a few Australian promoters over the last few days, which has been good. I spoke to VPW up in Queensland, and I got to check out one of their YouTube matches, some Venom Pro Wrestling, which was cool. I saw Jake Nova versus Adam Brooks on their YouTube, so go and check that out if you get the chance. Also, there's Nightfall Wrestling. They're going to be having their first standalone event. That'll be on the 2nd of the month, so please check that out if you're up in Queensland and want a good fun night of wrestling as well. So lots going on around the country. In WA, the Ambition Wrestling Show has been postponed. I've heard with a few people just being injured and not being able to make the show. Unfortunately, Mikey Nichols, I believe, tore a bicep, which is terrible for him. So get well, Mikey. And maybe with the border closures, I believe Slex and maybe Kellyanne weren't able to attend. So that one's been postponed, but Territory Wrestling will run with a lot of the South Australian talent and West Australian talent. So good luck to the show. Shark, Andrew Carter will be involved in that one and run things there. So hopefully that runs well for everybody. Elsewise, just please get your tickets for AWF Legacy here for AWF in Sydney. Hope to see many of our loyal friends and fans and family and everybody else in person there. Get onto the AWF website, awfwrestling.com.au, and grab your tickets, because they're only limited, and it's going to be a great night on the Friday the 5th of November. We've also got a couple of interviews that are going to go online over the next couple of weeks with some of the AWF wrestlers. So keep an eye out for announcements about that. If you're not on the AWF newsletter, please sign up to our mailing list. You can email info@awfwrestling.com.au. And in the next week or two, there will be another episode of This Is AWF Wrestling being released on the AWF YouTube. So I think that's a lot for today. So thanks for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Once again, check out the affiliate links down the bottom if you're interested in weight training. There's some great products from Ben Pekulski and MI40 down there. There's also some supplements. There's some scientific wrestling stuff. There's some deadlifts. There's a whole bunch of cool affiliate links down there. If you get a chance to check them out, you'll find something might be of interest. Please check that stuff out. Also Heels merch, check that out, and of course the AWF merchandise store, the AWF shop. So I'm TNT, the most explosive wrestler on the face of the planet, and thanks for watching Pro Wrestling with TNT, and we'll see you for the next one pretty soon. Alright, have a great day. Saaa-boom! It's detonation time.